There's been a resurgence of poetry in the African American community.
Why are you here?
Said it was bad time. And I figured if I asked again, maybe you say yes. If not that time, then maybe the next time. Till the next time became the right time.
Ah, persistence.
I was sort of making a living in the underground poetry scene here in Chicago. I was unemployed, and I was reading and writing a lot of poetry and hanging out with a lot of poets and musicians and people like that. And I thought that that was an interesting world onto, an interesting canvas onto which I could paint this other story.
What am I going to do with you?
I got a few ideas, but tell me what you got in mind, huh?
From motion pictures to new underground poetry clubs, there seems to be a new interest in African American poetry.
Urban Street caught up with the legendary master of the written and spoken word, Amiri Baraka, to discuss the new generation's interest in this art form.
What we do as writers or intellectuals or political figures is a continuum, a historical continuum. And I know in the 60s when, I began to be clear enough to say, this is what I want to do. One of my sons, Raz, a few years ago, made the same statement. This is what I want to do because, hey, this is our lives. We have to fight to transform it, if you're in the world, you know the reality of it. And without struggle, there's no progress, said Fred. And so I'm just happy now that a lot of the younger people are taking it up. I knew they would, because no matter what the media says about young black and Latino and poor white kids, they ain't all bad and they ain't all dumb.
Amiri Baraka is very important as one of the most prolific, political, and influential figures of our time.
I think the most important thing, though, not to, drag it out, the most important thing now for us is to create an alternative superstructure. A superstructure is that framework of ideas and institutions created by the economic base. So if you have an economic base like this, monopoly capitalism, imperialism, national oppression, racism, if you have that as an economic base, then all the ideas in those institutions. University of Chicago doesn't teach you how to overthrow monopoly capitalism. It teaches you how to enhance it and make it stronger. So we need an alternative superstructure. We need an alternative to Booty Call and House Party 8. You know what I mean? We need an alternative to Def Jam comedy and to gangster rap.
Baraka has written over 15 volumes of poetry, 20 plays, and 3 jazz operas.
Literary question and answer. Critics are always asking me to explain how I have been influenced by white people. Bringing us here has been their main influence.
Baraka was in rare form in front of the young, captivated audience at the DuSable Museum.
On me and most black people all over the Western Hemisphere, bringing us here and then, I guess, making us chattel slaves. Nakedology. Imagine believing that you gave birth to your mother. Imagine you thought your Johnson was a snake that could talk. Imagine apples in Africa. You have to study and work. That's why Mao Zedong says in the Yan'an Forum, he said, when we read your writing, we can tell what you're interested in. We can tell who you love and who you hate. We can tell what you think is beautiful and what you think is ugly. We can tell what kind of study you do and what kind of work you do by just reading what you write. This is a they-Q test. You hip to an IQ test? This is a they-Q test. Like they say, this was the United States. It's, no, this was the they-United States. Boom, boom, boom. Suppose you were so out, your murder was not a crime. Suppose you could be robbed and it was legal. Suppose crooks tell you when you're trying to turn them over to the police, they is the police, and they turn you over to themselves. Suppose you are the usual suspect in any crime, even those committed against you. Suppose you or one of your relatives are the first them mentioned as the probable non-existent invisible flying terrorist scapegoat that blew up TWA 800. Suppose you could be static or a number on a check. Suppose you could be just a number or not even. Suppose you had heard you were a problem but didn't understand why in your own language, so Mick Jagger had to translate. Suppose Halloween kidnapped you and your whole family and box lunch you and shit overseas, then claim you was real estate they owned. Please indicate which of the following titles or honorifics or degrees you have received: Shine, Woogie, Rughead, Spear Chucker, Coon, Jigaboo, Jig, Dinge, various apes and monkeys, Liver Lips, Sambo, Boy, Girl, Auntie, Uncle, Burrhead, Pup, nigga, Darky, Ink Spot, Savage, Bastard, Pickaninny, Uncivilized, Buck, Chattel, ain't no good, lazy, genetically inferior, draftmaniacal, cargo, zombie, degenerate, mud people, sucker, light, black, colored, non-white, kaffir, what, dependent, convict, unemployed, dangerous, welfare queen, hunted, homeless, unimportant, powerless, dumb, fancy, surly, natural, instinctive, lynching, nigga, scobe, shoe, spade, shade, native, perpetrator, animal, ignorant, uneducated, unqualified, sharecropper, Negro, Afro-American, African, Afro-American, colored, woogie, boogie, club member, spade. Please indicate the following.